All right, so today's video, we are watching a gold 4 tank on PC playing D.Va. D.Va's in an interesting spot, and I'll explain why in a minute. They say I was a bit scatterbrained, so we kind of steamrolled it first, but we pulled it together. So we kind of got steamrolled, excuse me. But we pulled it together, and they ended up capping in overtime. Then our support started complaining about the DPS not swapping to good hero counters for some reason. On attack, I tried to be more aggressive, and we managed to get more time than the other team. Towards the end, the enemy team started swapping specifically their tank to Winston, who I usually struggle against. Without spoiling, the game ended up being extremely close. Looking back, I feel like I could have done more to help enable our DPS. I probably tunnel visioned on DPSing, but I tried to DM and peel for my teammates when I could. I've been really enjoying D.Va lately because of her movement and have been trying to incorporate things I see you do and suggest from your videos. So, although I don't play tank super often, I'm open to any feedback to improve. So, just to kind of like talk about tank very quickly a little bit too, or D.Va specifically, D.Va's in a unique spot. And I say that because we've had a version of D.Va where D.Va kind of got lost at the beginning of Overwatch 2. Very hard to play D.Va against a lot of the comps. D.Va then was an okay option against Winston, right? Because Winston, it was kind of one of the heroes that could stop Winston from being like fully S+ tier. Like it wasn't like Winston would generally be a default option in like high level play. And then eventually D.Va got the buffs. D.Va became really good, became a backline dive hero that obviously, you know, combined with Juno was really strong. And then they nerfed D.Va again. And now D.Va's in a very unique spot where you can't peel because the amount of damage you'll take is too poke heavy. But then like when you go into their backline a lot of the time now, unless you have like perfect level support like keeping you up, you're basically all in most of the time. And it feels bad because like you're just like basically a guaranteed baby D.Va if you have to commit to an all in, which is it's kind of, so it's a unique spot. Basically D.Va's like okay right now. So it's very unique where D.Va's at. I don't know how to explain it. D.Va's still good. It's just, I guess, in different ways, and it requires like a different play style and mindset and things like in general. So we'll see. Let's do this, chat. Heck yeah, Wax. All right, let's see how this D.Va goes. You're going up against a Genji, Bastion, Hog, Moira, Ana. Not a bad matchup for you, actually, as long as you don't get hooked. The Rialto Bridge, an absolute classic. Okay, I mean, so far, it's like, just to kind of give an idea, like, you know how I just explained how D.Va is right now? Like, do you see how you're sitting there and you're just taking a bunch of random damage, and because you're taking that random damage, you can't do anything, but if you even remotely try to dive that backline, there's a pretty high chance you're going to fall over? Do you see, like, do you see what I'm talking about? How, like, there's basically only, a lot of what you need to do now is D.Va, and this is what's been working for me as D.Va, and this is a suggestion I have. I call it kind of hide-and-seek D.Va. And it's where you don't really, they might know where you're at, but you don't give them the opportunity to do anything to you. And you're like, yeah, but that's going to give up space and, you know, they're going to kill your team. As long as your team knows to back up when they see the enemy moving forward, there's a pretty good chance you can go and make really good plays. But the D.Va's become more of like this surprise hero. You can burst people down immediately, but it needs to be a bit more of a surprise. If you're going to stand there and take damage, then what's going to happen is you're going to eventually get grinded down, and there's nothing you can do, right? You can't do anything. Like, you're just going to lose your HP. So my suggestion here, and especially on Rialto, one, don't stand right here, okay? Number two, like, go up here for a second. And even, you know what? Sometimes the best thing you do is just make some noise. I'm not even joking. Move around, make them hear a D.Va, and they have to even think about it. But if you just stand here and take poke damage, you're going to end up falling over a lot of the time. Did you notice I play like that a lot? I only push out when I need to. I mean, essentially, Beaver, because like that's how we have to do it, right? Because in top 500... if I overpeak any of that DPS, you're gonna grind me down, right? As a DPS player, you don't want to deal with defense matrix, right? So what's the easiest way to get defense matrix out, chat? What's the easiest way? Oh yeah, shooting at the D.Va. And then the only way that if the D.Va's out of position, that's how you use up too much of your DM, and you can never kind of get your foot in. So it's just a suggestion for you is to kind of play like that a little bit more. Like you basically go more hide and seek, and then when the timings are right, you push it. Now it takes a little bit of time of understanding timings, and I do think that I might be getting a little bit advanced in that sense because I feel like it also requires your teammates to understand good positioning. So it's a multi-leveled way of playing D.Va, but if you can find that sweet spot in any rank, you're going to have a good time on D.Va. But anyway, sorry, I went a little bit overboard on that one. Good job eating Moira Orb, always important. Good flight going up top. You can peel that if you want to. I don't mind that peel. Flying into him now. Be careful. Flying up. There you go. This is good. The way you're playing that going up and high is the way to do it. Don't peek, though. Don't peek. Don't peek. Don't peek. Don't peek. Okay. So, okay. This was great because you had a good sequence. You had a good sequence, then you had a somewhat rough sequence of it. The way you play that, I actually loved to an extent because you flew up to the high ground. But give yourself a second after that because what you need to do is this, right? You need the Bastion to forget about you. So if you peek right away after flying up there, the Bastion's going to be staring at you. Well, you already know their turret form, so why peek and give them an extra 500 damage right here when all you need to do is wait like 2 extra seconds, and now that Bastion's out of form, now you have a burst damage opportunity, right? So when you fly away like that, and I keep teaching people this, it's okay to take an extra second or two before you do your next play. I think sometimes players just want to keep going, and then expect these really good results. But in Overwatch, sometimes one of the most underrated skill sets is the ability to slightly reset for a second and recognize that if you wait like 2 seconds, you give yourself a huge advantage. But a lot of people just want to keep going. I talk about it all the time where like, I tell people, I promise you, your supports want to heal you. So stop taking a bunch of damage over and over again. Give them 2 seconds. That's it. Just give them 2 seconds, and you're good to go. But sometimes players just want to keep going, and that taking those 2 seconds can be really helpful.
Initiating defense matrix.
It's a good hook. Back away if you can. Nice. Big gun. Now wait.
Weapon systems overloaded. Nothing gets past me.
Yep. Correct play. That's the correct play, by the way.
Calling in the big gun.
Obviously, I would have liked you to be able to find a way past the cart with the ult, but I still think it was good. Nice job. Good backline pressure. If you get D-mech, that's okay, because you had to hold the point. Now, yeah, I'll give you that. I mean, honestly, like, if you want me to really get to the fine T of this or whatever, you could have flew away and hid to the right where you initially started, and you'd have been fine. But when there's like 2 meters on the cart, I would probably do the same thing. You just don't... Basically, you don't trust that your teammates will get on the cart, and you know that you will. So, I haven't even seen Arcane Season 1 yet, to be honest with you. I will watch it one day.
Come here, Toski. Let's make up this party. Now that's a big one.
Playing behind the wall. By the way, I want you to I wanted to give you a little bit of a tip here. When they use Simwall, this is usually an opportunity for me to drop my DM. I saw you start to use your DM a little bit before, but think of like this as a huge Rhine shield that they probably won't kill unless the Roadhog ults it. Like maybe if a Bastion goes turret form and the Hog ults it, it will kill the wall. You don't need to DM that. I would actually highly recommend it. This is your time to get your defense matrix up. Use it as that tool. If the Hog goes by the wall and pushes you, is the whole team there on their team? No. Right? So even if the Hog pushes behind and hooks you, there's a pretty good chance they probably won't even remotely demech you because there's not much help because of the sim wall, is what I'm saying. Yes, sim wall can be destroyed. Yes. Yep. Sim wall can absolutely be destroyed. It has a lot of HP, but technically... They had a lot of ult series. You got rolled. Technically, their comp is like perfect for breaking it. They could legit just a Hawk and ult it in a bashing and turret form, and it should fall over. You could actually trade it 1-for-1 almost every time, I think, with Hog ult. I don't know how much exact damage Hog ult does, but it's very close to being able to kill it the whole way. It has a lot of HP though. I'm not. Listen, if you're on like a Genji Cassidy comp and like a Winston, if you're trying to kill the sim wall, no. But if you have a comp like that, very possible. The enemy team, that is. So. Up above you, by the way. Play above you. Play above you. Yes, you should have been up here from the get-go. Now wait, just wait. Give your teammates time. If your teammates die on the ground there, that's on your teammate. There you go. Okay. Now look for an opportunity. Bastion, which is where I would start, only because they're out of turret form and like the Ana is concentrated. Good DM. You saved your mercy. Don't be afraid to ult this. You would ult up, and then it would have it land behind, like, cart. I just need to see something. I'll let you know. I would have ulted that. I would have ulted that. I think your teammates are here. I think their team is spread enough. I think you would have ulted that. Because, like, they're already out of position for you, so what you would do is you would end up on the cart, and yeah, they would have to either fall back here. Yeah, no, I would have ulted that, 100%. I would have 100% ulted that. Okay, I would have ulted it. It's just about recognizing the strength of what your ultimate can do. If it's enough to buy time for your teammates to get back, I think it's worth it. I think it's worth it. I like it. I probably would have done the same thing, and I probably would have had the same result. Sometimes as baby D.Va, you just gotta try to pop off, right? You know? Backing away. Staying on point. Chilling. You can eat that. Remember, just a little bit of a note for everybody playing D.Va. You can eat the Bastion ultimate. I repeat, you can eat the Bastion ultimate. All right, just letting everybody know. What's the D.Va did here? I want to point out to people. DM the... just a note there. I would DM the hog the whole way if they're nano. And I know it's a little bit of a wasted DM, but if they're nano the whole way, they're going to kill someone. So you're making the correct play here. Good job. Well played there. Good sequence. Good job. Yeah. If the hog's nano, do you like have to commit your DM? Basically, in that situation, I actually want to force them to look at me to like basically at least demech me at the very worst. So yeah.
I am on fire.
Rocket barrage incoming.
Correct play. Good DM. You can't prevent Moira damage, but you certainly help get 2 kills. Good job. Nice. And just to point out to people, by the way, the reason why, just think about this. If you ever get like confused as to why you see a D.Va DMing your own Pharah, think of like Defense Matrix as a bubble for ultimates, right? It's not as effective as a bubble because, like, for example, well, I guess it's kind of like, it's just as effective, but like if they have a hero that can shoot through DM, then it's tough. But it just think of it as a Zarya bubble, right? You just DM your Pharah like you would bubble a Pharah on an ultimate. You know, you DM your Reaper like you would bubble a Reaper on an ultimate. Same thing. What rank was this again? I think it was flat, but I always forget because I read the whole paragraph after. Gold? Oh, it's gold? Okay. I mean, hey, if anything, that's a compliment because I thought they were in flat with the way they've been playing, which is a good thing, right? So. Okay, I want to teach you about time-ins here because, here, let me show you something. Okay. Okay, so you have D.Va ult here. The reason why I can get a lot of kills with this ultimate is because you need to time it correctly. You need to think about where they can go to when you time your ult. So, let me show you something very quick. Now, and you have vision of this. The reason why you ult now is because what's going to do is it's going to force the hog up, and it makes them have to make a decision. You would land it about here. So that way if they go with like a basically it separates them a ton. Maybe wait an extra 1/10 of a second. But if you wait too long, I'll show you what happens when you wait. So you've given them opportunity now. You've given them opportunity, right? Now they fell back a second, so you have a time in, right? Now, you go again. Right now, that ultimate should already be out, okay? But you wait. You wait. Now they're moving up. Now they're moving up. Now they're at a spot where they can escape it, right? So the only way this ultimate would work is if you launch it up into the air to have it land around this area, right? But because you waited too long and missed 2 opportunities, when you do ult, which is way too late now, look where they're at now. Now you ult to that spot, but guess what? They can now push in and kill you, or they have free cover. You see why your timings are a little bit off? So think about, when you do this ultimate, you need to think about where they are at, where they can escape to, and what will happen even if you don't get anybody. And you need to think about it as forcing them into your team. Now, this is into your team. The problem is that the cart is here, which is extra cover. There's extra cover here. And on top of that, they're not getting split. They're all together as a core. That's where your ultimate timing's off. So you need to just make sure you use it when it's going to do a lot of like splitting them up and things like that. Not bad. Yep. Good res. I want to see a... Time to pause again. Sorry about the pauses, but obviously I play a lot of D.Va too, so it gives me a little bit more opportunity. Let me ask you this question. Would flanking that at some point in the game be a good idea? Onto the Bastion. This is the first question. I'm gonna answer why. At some point in the game, would flanking there, like where the D.Va just flanked, be a good idea? The answer to that is yes. Why was it not a good idea this time? It would be a good idea, actually, because you're going to pull them back. But why would it be a bad idea in that moment? In this specific moment right here? Because I want to show people that sometimes there's a little bit of, I don't know if nuance is the right way to explain it, but there's plays where like 9 out of 10 times you want to make a certain play, and then one time you don't want to make that play. Okay, so I see chat saying the Roadhog ultimate, which, okay, fair enough. But actually, that's not what I'm thinking here. Let me ask you a question, chat. If you're in this situation, right? Let's go back a few seconds here. Okay, let's go back a few seconds. Okay, here we are. You ready? Get ready. In this situation, chat, where is your team going to funnel? On the Juno ult. Because the Juno ult, your team needs to travel with it. So that's why in this situation, you actually don't want to go for the flank. You want to stay with your Juno ultimate because your teammates are going to gravitate towards it. And not only will you benefit from the increased damage, you'll also protect your teammates to give them value. So while I actually like the idea of going for a flank here and like killing a Bastion occasionally to kind of like distract them at the choke, if like for some reason it's not working or you feel like that's fine. But in this situation where you have a Juno ultimate, you know your teammates are going to follow in with that. So the best thing you can do is be with the Juno ultimate. And then if you watch, I'm pretty sure the Pharah ends up ulting, which this could have been a guaranteed like 2 to 3 kills. But instead, because you're not there, the Roadhog just one-shots the Pharah, loses the ultimate, and now you're over here not helping your team. Do you see? Once again, I don't want you to stray away from this play specifically. Do you see what I'm saying? I like the idea of this. It's also just taking into account what's happening. So you see this right here? The Juno ultimate is too damn good to not get the value of it and also to protect your teammates when they're funneled into that. So there you go. Does DM stop hook? DM stops the damage from the shot after hook. Right? The hook does minimal damage. Like, not a ton to, like, really overtake something. But it definitely stops a shot from everybody on the person. Does that make sense? Alright, so far, like I said, not terrible by you. A lot of just decision-making that needs to be fixed and, like... But so far, you actually pretty good D.Va play. I gotta admit. Pretty good D.Va play. Ooh, Sigma. I don't like playing against a Sigma as D.Va. Too much spam on me. Yeah, this is... You're making the correct choice here, by the way. Avoid going for the Sigma. If your teammates get mad at you, then they're going to get mad at you if you get DMAC too, so there's no win in here. So just do your thing. A little bit too tunnel vision. You got to get your DM up there. You had the DM available. Don't waste it. I'm not even mad. Honestly, you're just resetting. I'm not saying I would have done that, but I mean, hey, you get your suit back, right? So, hey, it's a quick way to get your suit back. You know? Seriously, I mean, I'm not saying it's the play I would do, but hey, there you go. You got your suit. You have the right idea here. Yep. Now back away a little bit. DM the Sigma as much as you can on the way out. You have your support there now. Try to go to the left side health pack. Left side health pack. Health pack awareness. You're going to survive it, but I want to point out to everybody there's a health pack here. Don't be afraid to go here to kind of angle them away from you. This way, they're going to always be looking at you. So this way actually gives you multiple options afterwards. So if you escape this way, not only do you get the health pack and you'll start queuing up like the passive regen you get in Overwatch nowadays, which with tanks, it's a little bit more because it's based off of the percentage of your HP. You can then make a decision like, okay, maybe I go high ground up here and make a bunch of noise and try to like distract their backline. You actually set yourself up for a better spot by going here for the health pack rather than flying back to your team. So your teammates are fine. They got out perfectly. Like if a Sojourn had a charge shot right now, they would all get rolled. Type of like perfectly. But like, the point being is that this disengage, you might survive it, but I think the other one sets you up better for a play. Yep.
My ultimate is almost ready. Initiate the defense matrix. Weapon system overloaded. System ready.
Yeah, you see that whole sequence right there? Like, rather than try to face tank like you're playing Sigma or you're playing Reinhardt, I want you to like start going around the left side of the map. Use what's available to you. Your teammates will be fine. And if they get mad at you, you're going to be DMAC'd like this the whole time anyway, as I've been saying. So like, that will be the least of your worries. You can ult now, by the way. This is actually a really good ult spot if they're going to play like that. But you got to take advantage of it. Like, right. You're losing your time, but okay, no more timing on that. Mercy target's fine. Trying to face tank Bob too much. Yes, you can DM Bastionel, yes. Good out location. Perfect location, good job. Yep, great remech on the Mercy that you definitely knew was there. I will say, I wanted to see that ult like a minute and a half earlier. I'm not joking you would have done the same thing. That's why I mentioned earlier, I'm like, you could probably ult this, because that's the same result. Recognizing when there's a bad spot, people will be like, oh, how do you still get... Like, you get ult kills on top line. Like, the thing is with D.Va is it's all about knowing the spots where, like, it's really difficult for them to disengage, and their disengage needs to be next to perfect. And that was one of those spots. And back, don't even worry about the Sigma. No. Go for Bastion. Do not worry about that for now. And I'm going to explain why you go for Bastion in that situation. Your teammates are going to take 50% damage no matter what. Okay? That's going to happen. But on the flip side of that, the Bastion's one of the heroes that can make sure your teammates get below 50% HP. The Sigma might be able to get one. But I want you to take a look at your team. Okay? And the reason why you take a look at your team is you can start to understand when is the best time and when is the worst time to be able to use the abilities, right? And let's take a look at the other, like what your team has. You have a Life Weaver who can pull one of your teammates away to safety. You have a Mei who can ice block. You have a Sojourn who's probably going to use the mobility to get out of the ultimate to begin with. And then you have a Mercy who can Valk or res your teammates based off of what happens. And then you go get the kill on Bastion. At the very worst, you're in a 4v2, right? So that's why I would go for the Bastion to make sure the Bastion can't guarantee that the Sigma actually gets a bunch of kills. because the Sigma alone shouldn't be able to get that value, especially what your teammates have. So that's why you shift up your movement and your playstyle just ever so slightly, okay? And then you go for the Bastion. Anyway, continue back on. It all worked out either way, but these are moments that they may not go that way every time, so I'm trying to improve your chances in those team fights consistently, right? Go to class, have a great time.
Initiate defense matrix. Neutralizing projectile.
Not bad. There you go.
Initiating defense matrix. Nothing gets past me. It's
Good second point. Go up there and DM your teammate. Correct play. Just DM them. They're fine. Go for the Ash kill. DM your team. Yep. Totally fine here. Try to be ahead of them a little bit, I'd say, but...
I'm completely warmed up. Initiating defense matrix. Nothing gets past me.
That Bob is still going to be effective for like an extra second. Great. Kill Zarya now. Shoot Zarya. Shoot Zarya. Don't be afraid to ult this. This is an ult timing. You're losing a really good time and you lost it already. Maybe you did it. Maybe you did it. Yeah, you lost it. Damn. Still worked out, though. You killed the Zarya. So, like, I still like the idea of it. So, even though you lost the initial time, and it ended up being a decent, in my opinion, it ended up being a decent ultimate anyway, because it forced them back and left the Zarya alone. So, still a good ultimate. So, I'll give credit where credit's due. It still ended up working out. Disengage this. You can't survive that. Just, yep. Just wait. Just wait the more ult out. Your team is going to struggle to survive that, not you specifically. Good job. Get a little bit more DM heavy for a second, just for a second. Keep your teammates alive. Look at your Mei. There you go. Now go for the Ana. Go for just backline pressure now. Backline. Get in there. Get in there. Ana. Kill Ana. Target priority. Kill Moira. There you go. DM the cart. Hate most the ultimate. To Lucio. Nice job. There you go. Overall, not bad there. I do think that fight would have ended about 15 seconds sooner if you were willing to commit to their backline at a certain point. I think you were getting a little bit too peel heavy at times. D.Va's kind of shifted away from that like peel style gameplay, so I just want to see you clean that up a little bit. But overall, not bad. Not bad. Good job. Like, it's just, I'm giving you like a bunch of like small things that I'm seeing here to just help you a little bit in that sense, okay? Yes, much better starting spot. Good adjustment. Now keep in mind, just to kind of like circle back to this, when you're up here, by the way, it's not about, you don't need to like, you don't need to hide from them in the sense that like they can know that you're there, but you want them to have to worry about you the whole time. That's it. So, like, sometimes you can sit up here and do 35 damage, but as long as they're, like, super focused on you, you're already doing your job as a tank, right? See, they're worried about you for a second. Now you're going down low ground, and now they're like, wait a second. Now you're with your team. Now you're helping your team more. Now you can... don't be afraid to kill that hog there. They're all, like, not... That hog, I think, could have died. Go for Ana. Ana. You saw the Ana. Yeah, you're... Okay. Your timings are slightly off. I really think that if you were... You're kind of in the middle of, like, playing too safe and not aggressive enough. So if... Oh, nice rematch. So just a little bit more of, like, understanding the strength of your hero. If they're all over the place and you see an Ana isolated, go kill that Ana. Go kill that Ana. You know what I mean? Good job. Hey, I mean, good hold. great remech on the Genji that you definitely meant to kill. Like, what else can I say? That was all good. Good job. Let's keep going and see what happens. See how your attack goes. Hopefully you can get this victory. Did Kiriko didn't save everyone? I know. They have Winston. Now, you mentioned that you struggle against Winston. All right, and I'm gonna pause for a second. You freeze 6 there, but it was okay. Yeah, that's true, meme. I forgot. Yeah, I forgot. Now, what meme fails to let you know is that he would throw the Mei ult into the Genji deflect and get the whole team frozen. Notice how Meme Machine didn't clarify what team it was? There's a reason. So, let's continue on here. Now, the D.Va versus Winston matchup here, okay? I've seen people say this, so like, I struggle against Winston now. What's going on? Well, a lot's changed since, actually, we did a video on D.Va. Maybe I need to do an updated video. And actually, you know what? Maybe this is a good idea to kind of do part 2 of updated how to play D.Va video. It's not the same matchup anymore. So they made a change a few seasons back to armor, right? You go, great, armor. D.Va has armor. That's wonderful. Okay, cool. D.Va's going to be really good against Winston now, right? Like, that's awesome, right? Well, here's the problem. D.Va sucks against armor, right? For the left click. I think the projectiles will still do a good amount of damage against Winston. Like with the I think projectiles like are better. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. But either way, the armor change made it really difficult for D.Va to do well against the Winston. And you go, well, wait a second. But D.Va has armor, so why doesn't Winston struggle against D.Va with armor? Well, that goes to the next thing. Winston ignores armor, which means that there's 0 damage reduction that comes from your from a Winston into an armored target. Winston completely ignores armor. Armor does not exist to Winston. So your HP bar on D.Va is 0 armor. It's whatever it's just all the get rid of all the armor and it's just whatever the HP bar to the left is. That's it. No armor. You're just a no armor tank against Winston. So, because of that, Winston wins that matchup even more so. So the way to kill a Winston now is to pay attention to Winston's armor. What I do is rather than, and I'm still bad at this, it's like more of like a muscle memory issue. I try my best to avoid using any cooldowns into Winston until I see that they're right at the armor threshold where it's about to fall off, and then you shred a Winston. But if you spend all of your cooldowns on a Winston right away, you're going to do like no damage, and then you won't have the damage once they do lose their armor to be able to kill the Winston. And that's why Winston is a really tough matchup for D.Va in comparison to what it was before, where it was almost like this, like, D.Va had a slight advantage. So if D.Va was at like 60-40, now it's like 70-30 in favor of Winston. And before it was 60-40 in favor of D.Va. That's a pretty aggressive swap, right? You know what I'm saying? So what you want to do, main focus against Winston, kill bubbles, look for Winston when they're low. You can still poke the Winston, just try not to overcommit your cooldowns because you won't kill the Winston because the damage won't be as effective. But once their armor's gone, you shred the Winston. But armor it's easier said than done to get through that with D.Va. Okay, anyway.
Neutralizing projectile.
Like, do you see how, like, you just bursted some cooldowns into Winston? Now, I know Mercy healed them a little bit, but I want you to look at their HP. Look at Winston's HP right now. You see what I'm saying? Like, and that's got maybe not the best example. Let me see if I can slow it down to kind of show this. Maybe there's like a way I can slow it down up here when the Winston jumps up. Okay, so I'm gonna show you. Here's you doing damage to the Winston with the Mercy healing him. Okay, cool. Now look at your HP. Now I know you're taking damage from a couple of them down there too. Do you see like, like do you see what I'm talking about? That's why I've had to kind of shift my play style. Like, look at Winston. A Mercy was like slightly healing a Winston. And then you go up there, and granted you're taking damage from your right, you put your cooldowns into Winston, and Winston's like, hey. So what I do here is I kill the bubble, which then helps my teammates do damage to Winston. And then when Winston gets to a better threshold, maybe like 10% armor left, 20% armor left, I can then start to do my cooldowns because they will be more effective, right? That's why I make the meme sometimes like, oh, I healed up the Winston for us. It's because it feels like sometimes if anybody's paying attention to their Winston, I heal the Winston because of the armor. Like I said, that wasn't the best example to show that 1v1 either because there's a lot more happening. But like you can, it's more to kind of show the point of like what you do against a Winston with armor. Now you can kill Winston. Armor's gone. But by the time you get to him, they're already out. Fun, ain't it? Winston still hasn't got healed up though, so. So here comes the next question, chat. So as we've seen, As you can see, Winston's barely losing HP. What is the answer here, then? What is the answer here? Well, I got the answer for you. Stop going for the Winston. Coming from somebody who had to learn this more recently on D.Va because it was such a huge adjustment, is you're done going for the Winston. That's it. There's no more going for the Winston. You now have to go pressure their Ana, Mercy, and Bastion. Now you go, okay. So you do that every time? Well, if you ever watch me play in my top 500 D.Va games, whenever I play D.Va, why can't I dive the backline? Oh, because they run Brig! Hence why you see me playing less D.Va nowadays. Because it's really hard to get value against a lot of the comps, because most default comps are Ana Brig or Juno Brig. Unkillable. And that's why it works that way. Oh, I love playing Brig. I'm just saying that, like, it's easier said than done. You can't kill the backline as well as you could. If they're running a Mercy Ana, for example, I'll be there any day of the week. But the moment that they incorporate Brig in every comp, it becomes really difficult to do that. So that leaves basically Bastion as your only other option. Anyway, let's continue on. Don't be afraid to just go backwards off the map and just reset your suit. I'm okay with that if you do that. But hey, if you get a kill on Mercy, the better. So, hey, never mind. You're arming yourself, have your suit back. This certainly won't get you last second. Hey, it did it. So, you like Brig when you play Ana? I mean, it's because of the burst kills. A lot of D-Mech. This goes again. I want to show you. Just stop frontlining. I want you up here. Go here. Why are you going here? They look at you. They turn around. This opens up space here. If the Winston goes into the back line, it becomes a trade fest. Who's going to benefit in the trades right now? You are. Why? Your spawn's right here. All you need to do is get the cart to here, right? So trades are going to go in your favor. Trades will go in your favor. So the point I'm making is that you need to go behind them, start making them look for you. If they don't look for you, you get kills, you win the team fight. If they do look for you, it creates space here. If you trade out even 1 or 2 kills without giving up a res, now you're in a good spot. Now your teammates spawn up, you'll have advantage, and you're good to go. But if you keep, right? If you keep just sitting here and face tanking, that's how you're going to keep getting D-Max. So I want to see you try to go up to these spots and be better at that. Yeah, might as well go for the remake there. Why not? That's kind of more of a bad res than it is on you there. So, said you're in that game? Oh, heck yeah. Oh, you're the Bastion. That's funny. This ultimate actually is going to be good. I thought it was. I'll be real with you. That looked great. I got nothing. It looked like it was going to be good. I thought it was going to be able to follow up with a kill with it, but I didn't mind it. I guess their team had a good reaction to it. Or it went somewhere else. Pharah. Kill the Pharah. Alright, your soldier got him. You're on Mercy Lucio now. No, they're on Mercy Lucio. My mistake. You might be in a good spot, I'll be real with you. I think they hecked up I come back as Lucio. Alright, you ready for a new tip, chat? You ready? If you have a little bit of space and you want to get back quickly, go Juno. I'm telling you right now, it's a false strategy for like 8 years in Overwatch to come back as Lucio, to go to point, but if you have enough opportunity, like this example right here from the other team, go Juno. Because with Juno, you're going to be able to keep your teammates up alive with more heals and also add a little bit more damage output at range. So the reason why you go Juno is because speed ring. Speed ring will get you back and will also help your teammates. So like say that you spawn up 2 seconds quicker and you're out of there, at least you'll have a speed ring and spawn for a little bit and then get back a little bit quicker. So Juno is actually my... I'm still getting used to this because Lucio used to be the default come back to point, but Juno is a lot better at getting back now and helping your team and also being valuable in like these last second team fights. So, granted, now let's say the cart is where the D.Va's at, right? Like say the cart was right here to go to, then coming back as Lucio makes a little bit more sense because you just need to get back quickly, right? But if the cart's like right here and you have this much space, you come back as Juno. And then you come back, you'll have a speed ring, and then you can also play distance, maybe get a good right click, get a free kill from it, and then you have a much better retake. But with Lucio, it can be a little bit, you lose out on the healing a lot of the time. And it's just Lucio's in a spot where because you have to use your speed boost to get to where you need to go to, you lose out on that boost, that's where it would be valuable. So, anyway. And then the Lucio comes back and does that. And then the Mercy does that. Wonderful. Don't you love when that's the sequence of events when they still have an extra 15 meters to wait? And there you go. You got the dub. You got the dub. All right, so anyway, overall, I actually don't think you played that bad. I think for you, it's just going to be cleaning up your decision-making. Good news is like, you're in gold according to this. I'll be honest with you. I think I think you'll climb. I think mechanically you had some really good moments. I think, like, right now, the only thing that's truly going to be holding you back by anything is really just your decision-making in-game. And those are simple fixes. Like, start to look for more opportunity on backline pressure. If you're going to play D.Va, you want to take a little bit less poke damage. Poke damage is just that random 100, 150 damage that comes from nowhere. Start to set up a little bit more, play more hide and seek. Don't try to be this frontline, like, brawler that, like, you think you need to be. If your teammates complain about you playing that way, I can assure you they're going to enjoy it if they win the game because you're able to constantly, save them when you need to, but also be able to get kills and assure you get kills and things like that. So a lot of the stand in the round actually will end up making it a little bit more difficult for both your supports and for you. So look for opportunities, like go for high ground a little bit more. Wait that extra second to get healed. Look for opportunity with your D.Va ults when they're out of position. Don't wait too long if the opportunity arises. Things like that. Defense matrix management was pretty solid. A couple times I saw you overuse it, but that would be it was good enough for me. Remember in the Winston matchup, break bubbles, number one priority nowadays for you. Number two is pay attention more to the armor spots. You can chip damage them, but don't try to like all in your cooldowns like you used to. That style has changed now. If you clean up that gameplay, I think you'll climb pretty steadily. Obviously, you might run into the issue you get a lot of counter swaps, and that is something that's a little bit different. But in a game like this where you're less... and keep in mind, when I say counter swaps, by the way, and I just want to reiterate this, I'm not talking like they go Zarya and you're on D.Va. Just to make that abundantly clear. I'm not saying that. If they go Zarya, you can make D.Va work. It's if they go like everything in the world. Like next thing you know, they're on Zarya, Sim, Mei, Brigana, right? Then that you have to do a lot to work around it. But if they're on like a Zarya, you're going to be fine. It's not as... Because if you're playing around the map and you're playing high grounds, think about it. You're not going to be... The Zarya can't farm you as much as your teammates might think might happen. So anyway, overall, you played fine. Just take some of the advice we gave you on that. I guarantee you'll climb because I really do think mechanically you have some good plays here, and sometimes that's some of the difficult part about D.Va too. So you did a really good job. So keep at it. You got this. You absolutely got this. If you like this video, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to all 3 YouTubes if you haven't, leave a comment. All that helps. If you want to submit your own spectating, look at the description below. You'll see my Discord. That's where you do that. We also record these live on stream. You can see the Twitch chat below the webcam. With that being said, I hope you all have an amazing day /night.